Page 3, Montana facts. Here we go. Page 3. I should find a different color to put on here. All right, here we go. Montana facts. This I'm gonna give you guys the information. These are our notes sections, so this is where I'm telling you what to write down. If you've already started your state symbols, then you know that there are some things you get to research and find on your own. Montana facts. Date of statehood. Does anybody want to just take a wild guess? What do you think, Wiley?
1802.
Ooh, 1802. Too early. Anybody else have a guess? Xander, do you already know?
1802.
Yes.
What?
1889.
1889. Do you know the day?
Yes.
What?
November 8th.
Perfect. Xander gave us the answer. It is November 8th, 1889. So, a little over 100 years after the United States became the United States, right?
What was, was it like the 28th?
That's what I was going to tell you next. Christian wants to know, which number of state was it? Because we know that the very first state was Delaware.
Pennsylvania.
Do you know the...
I think it's 46.
You are really close. It's Brody said 46.
48.
Too high.
47.
47. 43.
47.
All right, Xander, you must have that one already too. What is it?
The 48.
Ooh, too high.
47.
41st. 41st. But think about, guys, what's still west of us and Alaska and Hawaii, right? Montana was the, if you have room to write it next to it or wherever you have room, 41st state. That's just a good little tidbit of information. We were the 41st state, a little over 100 years after. We're going to write that down too. So remember that, Brendan. I'm going to come back to you on that one, okay?
Population is always changing.
Population is always changing. Every time I've done, most of the time when I do Montana history, we like round it to, we've got about 1 million people. We are just over 1 million people in Montana, according to the 2019, right? Very recently, the most recent information, 1,069,000-ish people in Montana, according to the 2019 information. 1,069,000.
And California has like 3 million.
Can I round it to 70? Because
No, put 69 because that's the difference of 1,000.
And a lot
So-
of fires.
Montana does not have a lot of people compared to how large we are, right?
And a lot of Hollywood stuff.
We are. We're going to come back to that. We're going to write that one down. Under. All right. Area. We are, as Brendan and Elle have already said, what number state are we, like as in size? 4th largest. Brendan, do you know the order of what the states go in for size? Brendan, hold on. Do you know the first largest? Alaska? Texas? California? Montana. Alaska, Texas, California, Montana. So we are, I like to put it over here, 4th
I know your mom.
largest.
I know your dad.
Hey, boys and girls in the classroom, we are trying to make sure that they have a lesson at home too, right? And on the computer. So, 4th largest at 147,046 square miles. 147,046. Xander, it looks like you've already done a lot of this page. Is that what you found too?
Thank you.
Sorry, I'm in Brody's way.
I know the governor.
And then the governor's name is
Bullock.
currently Steve Bullock. Okay, guys.
Respect you, governor.
Okay.
You were.
All right, for the bottom of the page, we're going to do it slightly differently than what they say. Montana has a lot of agricultural products. I know the bottom of your page says manufacturing. What products does this state make and sell? And agriculture. What crops or livestock are grown on farms? We're not going to change any words, but we are focusing on not only 6 but 7 industries in Montana, but most of them are natural ones, not things that Montana doesn't have a lot of factories where we're making things and sending them out to other places. But we have a lot of agriculture and animals. Christian said the first one. What Montana's biggest industry, Christian, is? Cattle. So we're going to write cattle. And then we get to draw a little picture. Ready? Here's how I draw a cow. Start with 2 circles for the nose and a circle around it. Simple cows. We're going to go simple. And then, I know, but they both have big noses. And then eyes. And there's the head. And then I'm going to draw horns on my cow and little ears that come down. And then a little bell. There's my cow. You can draw your cattle however you want. Cattle, beef, and dairy is a huge industry in Montana. I have some facts I'll share with you guys later about how huge it is. Okay, now, not dealing with animals, but crops. What crops do you already know Montana grows, sells, not only for our own cattle?
They all died.
Corn is not one we're actually going to talk about. It's not one of the biggest, even though we did learn about it at the Nile, right? Didn't they talk about corn?
Sugar beets.
Sugar beets. We got sugar beets, and it doesn't matter what order we put them in, so let's just put sugar beets here. We know about those because we got the sugar beet factory, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Sugar beets.
My dad used to work there.
Sugar beets are easy to draw. They kind of look like a radish or a turnip, right? They grow underground, and then they've got that leafy bit on top. When you go to color them, they're kind of a reddish-brown color. Sugar beets.
Isn't that how you make sugar?
It's one of the ways, but I think, do you guys remember when we went to the Nile and he said how much did he say for 1 5-pound sack of flour? Wasn't it like 30 sugar beets? It was a lot. I remember it was a lot.
And then what do they use the sugar beets for?
They do use them to make sugar. It just takes a lot. It's more than like sugar cane. The tops go to feed animals, and then the sugar plant is used for sugar. It just doesn't get as much out of it. So then, what else do we have? What is another crop in Montana? We do grow corn, but it's not one of our top 5 industries. I heard wheat. We're going to put wheat. Wheat. And there are lots of different kinds of wheat. There's summer wheat. There's winter wheat. There are wheats that are used for different types of cooking and baking. Wheats that are ground up to make flours for breads are different than like maybe some of the flours, the all-purpose flour you might use in almost anything. So wheat, let's see. I'm trying to remember how I drew wheat. Wheat, we'll draw it in stalks or something, right? It gets bound up at the end. Here's my wheat. If I had yellow, I would color it yellow.
This is my
It's Minecraft wheat.
Some of your wheat might look better than mine. Brody's wheat looks better than mine, and that's okay. I'm all right with that. I'm comfortable.
My wheat has a lot of oil. Little, like, strands.
All right, what's another one, folks? No?
Barley.
Barley. I heard barley from Carly. Carly said barley.
Barley.
All right.
Barley and wheat.
Barley. Barley. I don't know what barley looks like. It's like, it's still another grain, so it's got the grain seeds on the top. Barley. Tyler said the next one. Hay. Hay is another one. So I'm going to draw a hay bale with a pitchfork next to it or something. Some hay. Why is it a lot of farm stuff? What do you think? And think about how big Montana is with all of this great farmland, but how few people we have, right? Hay. And if I were to show you a map of, it is not potatoes. If I were to show you a map, though, of Montana agriculture, you'd see that the hay and the wheat fields also are very near where all the cattle ranches are. It makes sense, though, right? A rancher in Montana might grow a lot of their own hay and alfalfa. We learned about alfalfa at the Nile field trip. Hay and alfalfa to feed their own cattle first, and then they sell the rest. And then the last industry has nothing to do with crops. The last two industries. I know you only have one more spot. We're going to add one at the bottom.
What does it have to do with?
Okay, what does it have to do with? I'll give you a hint, but you guys have to guess. What is Montana's? So Montana's motto is Oro y Plata, silver and gold. So mining and coal.
Oh, yeah.
Xander, I'm going to come back to you. Let me write this down. Mining and coal is another industry.
I'm just gonna draw.
So I'm going to draw a pickaxe. Let's see. There's a long stick.
Yeah,
make it a diamond
pickaxes.
Those ones are the best.
All right, a pickaxe for mining and coal. And again, think about the map of Montana. The mining and the coal is going to happen in the mountain regions, but all of these cattle and farming things are going to happen in the rest of the state, right?
Yeah, we have one right behind us.
And so then there's one more thing that we do have fossils and archaeological sites here. One more industry though where we can take something from our land and send it to export it, send it to others. It's something we get mostly from the mountains and the forests.
Wood. Timber.
Wood, timber. Xander, you had a question or a comment also, right?
No, I just.
Oh, you were ready to answer. Were you going to say timber also or wood?
What? We're going.
Nicely done. Aiden, question? Brendan.
Yeah, how many pages are we doing?
Just these right now. So I know that there were only 6 circles. I just want you guys to add at the very bottom, you can draw a couple of little pine trees, and we're going to say timber because we also, that's our last industry. These are Montana's top money-making industries for our state. Okay?
We're going down.
All right, so this is our last thing on this page.